42Liberty. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Once again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Grandpa Dave here from Osted's Golf, helping the grandkids get their dad the perfect gift for Father's Day.
Thanks for your help, Grandpa. Dad wasn't thrilled with the candy that we got him last year, but we sure liked it.
Okay, kids, save up to $200 on clubs from TaylorMade, Callaway, Titleist, or Ping. We're up to 50% off name brand golf apparel. Buy 2 dozen Strixon balls, get one free. And dads love Osted's gift cards.
Papa, we need a bigger allowance.
Talk to your dad.
Shop Osted's Golf for Father's Day.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. And right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at CoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
The highlight of the first segment easily was Jake being concerned about the sand that would need to be brought into Memorial Stadium if they played soft.
It's for the optics here. It just looks better with sand.
So do you think the infield is just sand, Jake?
What's wrong with you?
It's not sand.
It looks better with the sand look on it.
It does not.
Yes, it does.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome in. Here we are live from the Blur Parties Tailgate, 12th and Cass Street in Omaha. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland with you. We'll be with you from 2 to 4 here for On the Block, brought to you by NEBCO. Appreciate them and their sponsorship of the show. NEBCO's operations span the state of Nebraska and supply the construction industry with the materials needed to construct buildings, streets, and highways. They've been doing that since 1908. They're a fourth-gen, family-owned and operated business. They've got over 1,200 employees and 26 companies throughout Nebraska. Visit NEBCOinc.com to learn more. NEBCO's tried and true, Nebraska to the core. Stricky, so is the College World Series. We are here another year. Great day for it, right? A little toasty outside, but a little bit of a breeze. Clear blue sky, maybe a cloud or two, and that's about it. You could not have drawn up a better opening day for the College World Series.
Absolutely. And the crazy thing about it, they've got misters all over the place. They've got a cool tub. Stick your feet in there. Watch the game. TVs are everywhere. Couches are everywhere. Food, drink. whatever you like. Great people, great atmospheres going down right here on today on the block.
On the Blur Block.
On the Blur Block.
On the Blur Block. That's where we are at. If you want to join us, get your tickets now. You can do that at blurevents.com/Omaha. You can also get them at the door. They do recommend that you buy ahead, though, again, at blurevents.com/Omaha. We're in here. As soon as you walk in, we are straight ahead of you. You will see us. You will see our table. If you're here, please stop over and say hi. It's great seeing a lot of faces that we don't know. It'd be awesome to see some friendly faces that are familiar here supporting us and supporting those who support us, right? We're extremely grateful to Blur for their hospitality with us, for having us out here. Again, it's the 12th annual tailgate that they've done. So if you appreciate us, just know we appreciate Blur. Show love to us by supporting our sponsor here and Blur, our host, for having us out.
And we had a great time with them at Colorado.
Who's we?
Oh, you weren't there.
Who's we? Who's we?
Blur
the ticket
and the ticket took it on the road as well when we were out in Colorado. And listen, I hope they're down at Memorial. That will be a beautiful thing if they're able to take it when Colorado comes into town.
Bring Blur Events to 93.7 the ticket
I'm
studio.
already putting it out there. I'm putting it out.
See what happens week 2, Nebraska and Colorado. Lots to get to on today's show, including the Celtics going for a sweep. But guess what, Stricky? Scott Foster on the whistle. The series extender. We'll see if he can work his magic.
We're looking at a gentleman, possibly.
We will see what we can get into the NBA Finals in a little bit. We'll, of course, talk plenty of College World Series. The main conversation is getting to know these teams, but also who are Husker fans potentially rooting for in the CWS. But before we get into any of that, some Nebraska-adjacent sort of news here, Strick. Keisei Tominaga signs with not just Under Armour, but the Steph Curry brand. That's so cool because you hear Keisei, referred to as the Japanese Steph Curry for a while. He met Steph at a camp back in 2018. He's known for his long-range shooting prowess and all. But you look at a guy like De'Aaron Fox, signed with Curry's brand. Malaysia Fulwiley, college star. And now Keisei Tominaga, who's looking to compete at the Olympics for Team Japan. First of all, how cool for Keisei. But second of all, even though he's not at Nebraska anymore, everyone associates Keisei Tominaga with Nebraska. I think this could be huge for the university and the program.
Well, absolutely. I think it's huge for the international brand. You start hearing it as they're playing. You're going to hear a lot of mentions, especially during the Olympics. Whenever he does something, you're going to hear both Under Armour, you're going to hear Nebraska, the phenom out of Nebraska, and that's going to speak well. What it does is it opens up the recruiting landscape for Nebraska as a whole as well. Now you're looking at not only Asian players, Chinese players potentially. You're looking at maybe even some Filipino, more Australian. You're going to be able to start to find more of these guys out there because he'll be able to attest to the experience that he had here at Nebraska.
Well, you think back through some of the international players that Nebraska's had, some Puerto Rico here and there. You think about Jack McVeigh, who came from Australia a little while back in New Zealand. Lat Mayen, Australian, which – here's the thing. We haven't talked about Jack McVeigh being the MVP of the New Zealand Basketball League. He's going to get some NBA looks this offseason, which is just an incredible story for him. But Nebraska's done that. We know the women's team has really hit that Australian market pretty hard with that connection there. But when I think of international recruiting in college basketball, Strick, my head immediately goes to Gonzaga and what Mark Few's been able to do up there in Spokane. Again, a few Australians here and there. A lot of Canadians obviously being close to the border.
You're going to see more of that.
You will.
Especially
Canada basketball
is coming.
Yeah. And then even going into, some European prospects as well. But Nebraska men's basketball has also done that, especially recently under Fred Hoiberg, right? We mentioned Lat Mayen from the junior college ranks, an Australian guy. You look at Keisei, JUCO, but from Japan. Then you get Rink Mast, who comes over from the Netherlands. And now Berke Boyutinjel, right? Yeah. He's a Turkish guy.
Yeah.
Nebraska has, its limitations in basketball, right? With the lack of history compared to some other Big Ten teams, the narrative persisting about being in the middle of the country and the Big Ten playing old man basketball. Maybe a potential recruiting advantage for Nebraska is not just staying in the 50 United States. Maybe Nebraska's advantage can be going overseas, scouting, recruiting, or becoming that landing spot for guys who come over, don't like their first fit stateside. And then you come to Lincoln, warm, welcoming environment. There's a lot. I mean, I get it. Lincoln's pretty white, but there's a lot of cultures, a lot of ethnicities there. It's a really good spot, I think, to be under the radar, to get your feet underneath of you. maybe that's Nebraska's niche in college basketball moving forward.
Well, here's the other part of it. I believe you have a strong Sudanese culture just right up the road.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good to start to continue to tap into some of those resources and talent because they have an international connection.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to be on the plane. Oh, gosh. I happened to be on the plane on my way home, and I was chopping it up with I got it right here. Let's see.
Your boy.
Your boy.
No, your boy, not my boy.
Oh,
whoever
man.
he is, he's your boy.
I lost it. I have it on here. We exchanged texts, but nonetheless, we happened to chop it up a little bit, and he was going to do a camp that was just going to be right over in Council Bluffs, and he talked about that, the culture, the richness, how much the kids even overseas now are really starting to have a passion for the game of basketball, and it's good to bridge those. I think Nebraska is looking to get ahead of the curve on this.
Yeah.
And look, not that other teams aren't recruiting international. I'm talking about knowing that you have a east to west recruiting swath, visibility, and I think that's gonna be a good selling point. You're in the middle. You're able to touch everything as far as when you play on the east, you play on the west. And I think that's good to get ahead of that because there's going to be a lot of probably Asian, Australian that have a West Coast flow, but they probably didn't think to go further into the interior because of the fact that they didn't know if their family would be able to see them. But with the additions of Washington, Oregon, and UCLA, and USC into the Big Ten fold, it's going to give people like Nebraska to start to, if they get ahead of the curve, to be able to touch those players probably like they haven't before.
Well, don't forget, Nebraska's go play in Hawaii over Christmas, right? There's another way to make yourself accessible out there. Nebraska's played at the multi-team event down in Orlando a couple times. So Nebraska does get coast to coast. I think about even a guy Nebraska missed on in recruiting, Mongolian Mike Shravjams, who started his career out at Dayton, went to San Francisco, and has bounced around a little bit. But I really think there is an opportunity there for Nebraska. Back on Casey, what a rise for him, right? Like Steph Curry, and that he's not the biggest guy, had to get creative, had to work really hard to make an impact in terms of what he's able to do on the court. But when you look at Casey, in terms of Nebraska basketball players over the last 5-10 years or so, is there anyone that comes even close to being as marketable for the university as Casey?
Stricky!
I said 5'10". Yeah.
No, not for that. Usually the bigger guys would get a lot of sway, but yeah, not at the guard position. And I think he's done a lot for Nebraska in his visibility in so many ways that we'll look at this some years from now, 5, 8, 10 years from now, Austin, and we'll be able to potentially say that a lot of it started with Casey.
Here's what Steph Curry had to say about Casey Tominaga signing. He said, "We are excited to have Casey join the Curry brand family as we continue to extend our mission internationally. He has a dedication to the game and continues to be an inspiration for athletes across the globe. I love that we are growing this amazing roster of Curry brand athletes, and Casey, along with our other athletes, are continuing to create an impact and changing the game of basketball." Then, excuse me. The GM of Curry brand says, same thing. Casey fits the DNA of a Curry brand athlete. Extremely talented shooter, scorer, plays with distinct style and joy we see in other athletes, all while proving to be a fierce competitor on the court. Right? I think the range, the shooting comparison makes sense, but Steph Curry's nickname is the babyface assassin. Casey's got a little bit of a babyface to him, but those two guys, when they're going, have more fun than anyone you've ever seen play basketball. We know about Casey's antics, and the shrug and the too little, stuff like that. But you see that with Steph all the time too, right? The night celebration, the smile, the mouth guard and everything. I love that Casey found a fit for him with not just a guy that I think he mirrored a lot in playing style, but I see a lot of similarities, too, between Casey and Steph being the heartbeats of their teams and the joy that they play with.
Yeah, you can't look at Casey specifically on anything other outside of the shooting. We know Steph's handle is complete as any's in the league. That's not really Casey's spot, but his cutting ability is equal or on par to what Steph does. So you can see some semblances of him, undersized, some may say. Steph, he's not really a point guard. I mean, let's be honest. Neither was Casey. And so you can understand the connection there and why it made sense for that to happen. But shout out to him, kudos to him, and congratulations to him.
Like we said, Keisei on the pre-Olympic roster for Team Japan. It'd be cool to see him make Japan's 5x5 team or regular basketball team. Let's say Keisei's playing 3-on-3 again. How does cutting affect 3-on-3? We know how range and shooting affects it, but when you're playing 3-on-3, what is it that the Keisei's cutting and moving without the ball does in 3-on-3 that might be similar, different to regular 5-on-5? I
mean, it's just a lot of open space. You can't really scheme for that type of stuff on a 3-on-3 environment. You can play off, but then his shooting ability is going to hurt you. And so his game bodes very well for a 3-on-3 style. It's a lot less running, which gives him even more ability to to run in the half space of the court. So yeah, it's going to be wild.
We'll definitely make sure we're monitoring and watching Keisei. The other college basketball news of the day, Coleman Hawkins. We mentioned that he committed to Kansas State yesterday. Stricky, how much money do you think that young man for 1 year is getting in NIL? Coleman Hawkins at K-State.
Maybe
25?
525,000.
Keep going.
Up.
725. Keep going.
Million.
Keep going.
1.5.
Keep going.
You better stop it. He's not deserving of that.
Keep going.
This is crazy.
Keep
2 million?
going. 2. Sources told Matt Norlander,
1 year.
CBS Sports, that Coleman Hawkins, for 1 year in the Little Apple, getting a $2 million bag.
Well, so now we know that's where he's going.
Yeah, he
It's not
committed, and then,
necessarily a fit. That's crazy. Yeah, that blows me away. His game. Come on, man. I mean, this is getting wild. Let me just be quiet.
I want you to keep talking. You're on a radio show,
Let me be
Strick.
quiet.
Dang it. Come on, man.
I don't want to knock the hustles, but good gosh, this is wild and crazy.
So I'll need to look up Kansas State's full roster again at some point. But yeah, Norlander said sources told CBS Sports that Coleman Hawkins' NIL package to commit to Kansas State is slightly north of $2 million. K-State boasts one of the largest NIL war chests of any program in college basketball. Hawkins is now one of the highest paid portal players in the 2024 cycle. The one sentence that stands out to me there, Strick, is K-State boasts one of the largest NIL war chests of any program in college basketball. That's 3 hours down the road. Manhattan ain't Lincoln. If Kansas State can pony up for men's basketball, what is stopping Nebraska?
Yeah. And their football program is emerging.
Growing.
You can't tell me that their recruiting base, where Nebraska's is not only across the country, now internationally, that they can outdo Nebraska at K-State.
It should be happening.
Come on, man. Come on. Nebraska, we got to do better. Like if we not stepping it up to those levels. And look, I don't think he's worth $2 million, but okay, they did. But the fact that it was available is what I'm talking about.
Well, and he's not the only guy that went out and paid. K-State has a big roster full of transfers in year 3 for Jerome Tang. We'll keep talking about that throughout the offseason. DP,
sir,
who's in a dogfight right now?
Sir, who's in a dogfight? But you know, it's College World Series. It's supposed to be a dogfight. It's supposed to be. But glad to be here. Like I don't know, ain't here.
True.
Everybody else, yes. What you even doing with your baseball program? Listen, basketball school, Dirty Tar Heels got here.
Right.
Academic school, Virginia got here.
Wake Forest, Clemson was in the neighborhood, right? Then Florida State, you know how they're academic first. Not. They got here. SEC's sent a bunch of people.
Kentucky's a basketball school. They got here.
They got here. What? I don't understand. And here, it's a vibe.
There goes the Kentucky bus, by the way.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Wildcats?
Yeah, they will drop them off. There'll be some folks coming in here a little bit, folks hanging out. It is a vibe over there. It is a vibe over there at the stadium, and here, so you know the Olympic type shopping villa they've got over there, Fan Fest, and you keep looking for you. I could go over there and just lose my mind, so I have to really just be specific because otherwise, I'll come back with a bunch of stuff that I have to explain.
One of those, one of these, another one of that.
You know, I was like, all right. So I walked over, and the bucket hats for the College World Series are $50. Woo! Every hat that for every team over there is $50, right? But they got some nice. Let me show you the variety. Right? Let me show you the nice variety, right? So you got the baseball cut, you got the baseball cut, and then you got for the you got the red.
Wow!
Like if you want to wear the red, like you want to wear the red, right?
Hey.
So
I like that texture.
right?
That texture's the one.
Look at the texture on that.
Right. So
all the names on the back.
I go over there. I go over there.
Names on the back.
Yeah, I showed him.
Yeah, but in the village, so right here at this very first tent across the street, right there at the corner.
Yeah.
If you go in there, if you're going into the stadium, if you want to go in there and just shop, you don't have to have a ticket. You can just go around, and it's a whole Fan Fest village. And I said, okay, I'm going to allow myself to spend $50 on one of these bucket hats.
Right.
And I go to, there's one little guy over there here in the corner who has first of all, the shop next to him, the first thing in the door is a Commander's jacket.
No shot.
Commander's jacket. And I'm like, bruh, what you doing? And he was like, well, DP, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What you mean, DP? Like you know me.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you. Oh, okay. What you looking for, DP? I said I was about to, I'm on a budget. I can only spend this $50 for my bucket hat, right?
Right.
And he goes, well, I don't have a bucket hat that can fit you, but I do have some other hats that'll fit you. Hey, Stricky, I ain't saying nothing.
But you're saying something.
I ain't saying nothing, but like you see the price tag on there, right?
I saw it, my boy.
Hey, man.
I saw it.
Why don't y'all go ahead and pick a hat? Because I only paid $50 for all them hats.
Discount.
Dang.
DP, the DP discount.
Hey, sir.
No, bro, this texture is kind of fresh.
Here's the thing. There's an extra, like you can choose. There's a red, so it has the College World Series, but it's got the real, and it's got Omaha on it.
It's kind of fresh.
I'm just saying.
I got that small head. I gotta get the
blue.
medium.
I got a lot of those colors.
Yeah.
What size? Yeah, large. Stricky got the big
head. Yeah. Here's what's funny, right? Because I'm like, I got 50. That's all I got.
Yeah.
But this is College World Series, official NCAA joint, right?
Yeah.
So you can't. He looked at me and he was like, he gave me the nod. I got you, DP. I got you. See, when people don't understand, I've been telling them all week that I'm going to be grateful. And I'm hooking up folks. I'm hooking up ticket folks this week, right? And I said, I'm hooking folks up because you know what happens? And people don't learn the lesson. When you open your hand to give, your hand is always open to receive.
Yeah.
And the dude was like, go ahead. He gave me that. He gave me that nod.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. So yeah, we'll take pictures and
we will
let people know how we getting down. And then this
CWS hook up with DP.
And this is the MVP though. See, I have a little bottle. Strict.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir.
Strict.
Yes, sir. That thing worked right.
Oh, that's the glorious.
It hits more than Joey Gallo.
Oh, right. It hits, and it costs about $4,999,990 less than Joey Gallo, and way more productive.
That part,
that's good,
and way more productive. So
it's Friday. It's off to a great start today.
This is the get down. Is that the College World Series Blur events? First of all, I mean, to have it where the tent is more comfortable, better set up. It was a rock star last year, but this year it's gone the extra level because even without, like, we had that magical mister last year on that side, it's rolling. Like they ventilated the space better, feels
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Good food, good crowd, and I'm imagining
We like to be able to see everything.
Yeah, like
That's
it's not
awesome.
like it's not behind you, kind of lurking. But yeah, this is exceptional. The building's going to be fantastic. The stadium is going to be fantastic. There is a large number of North Carolina fans who made it to Omaha, and they are getting it done. So yeah, I fully expect.
I hope they enjoy their 3 days here.
Yeah,
I would say that on North Carolina.
I would.
I hope they enjoy their 3 days here.
What the guy say? I love that for them.
I love that for them. That was you. We should probably take a break. DP on the end, Strickland in the middle. I'm Boston. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install them and forget them outfit long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms late in the day, otherwise increasing clouds with a high around 90. Tonight, showers and storms likely, with the low around 67. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise probably sunny, with the high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clark for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Soulful Casino in Havelock is a family-owned business, providing incredible food and service that'll have you craving more with every bite. Soulful Casino offers everything from pulled pork to fried chicken, catfish, ribs, and even quesadillas. You want sides? They've got them. From fries, green beans and baked beans, to collard greens, potato salad, and sweet dill corn. Stop by for lunch as they have specials Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. That's Soulful Casino, located in Havelock, where every bite you take fills the soul.
The 31st Annual Testicle Festival, Saturday, June 15th at Round the Bend Steakhouse, just off I-80, exit 426. Swing out 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. for live music, cold beer, and of course, nuts. Visit roundthebendsteakhouse.com for more.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications,
Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
When you look at Nebraska baseball, I mean, a 40-win season, best pitching in the Big Ten, above average offense for the Big Ten. You go to regionals, far and away the best pitching staff, but a good half a run below even the third worst offense in that regional. When you look at Nebraska baseball, is that a program that needs to improve the pitching first or the lineup first to be able to make more of a dent in the postseason?
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the Block. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland, DP on the end of the table. 1-1 into the top of the fifth inning between Virginia and Carolina, leading us off here at the College World Series. Lots to get to here on a busy day in sports outside of just the College World Series. Strick, let's talk a little big picture here for the next 7-8 minutes or so. We mentioned that it's the ACC and SEC Invitational at this point, right? 4 from the ACC, 4 from the SEC represented here. When you look at a College World Series, do you think the baseball is going to be better because you have teams that have to play a little bit of chess because they're so familiar with each other? Or would you prefer a College World Series where there's unfamiliarity? Teams have to get to know each other. It's kind of a new experience, new matchups.
That's tough. See, I'll just speak from this standpoint. I'd love for the text line to jump in, 402-464-5685. Just if you like to get involved or even give your opinion, because my thoughts on it may be differing from yours, but I would love to see how you view it, because I look at it like this, Austin. I'm a strategic guy.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I played, I looked for strategic advantages on how I can minimize, hinder, hurt, defeat, my opponent. This is why the playoffs are the way that they are. It's a consistent juggling of strategic moves.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do from this game? And it's not just one game from the game. It's quarter to quarter. It's timeout to timeout. It's
inning to inning.
And so there's always something going on. I think in these settings, when you've been seeing somebody, it's good to do something off script every now and then.
True.
Right? Run when you're not a running team. Take a shot at it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a mashing team, move runners, but focus on defeating the strategic moves on shifts. Obviously, they don't allow the crazy shifts like they used to, but still, there's shifting that occurs.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing how they're going to pitch you, knowing who's pitching, looking into those strategic aspects of it, knowing that he's a slider or he's, his best ball is a changeup, then I'm not looking to mash like I used to. I'm looking to stay back a little bit longer, and I'm poking open sides because there may be a big shift by way of the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
I put one oppo into a gap or down the line somewhere, I'm extra basic. That's a benefit. So I'm looking for things that the scouting report works against me. This is if we face each other on a regular. You've seen me many times, whether it be pitching too.
Right.
Like if my fastball is my best thing, I'm hoping to work a two-seamer a little bit more.
First pitch breaking ball, throw someone off,
stuff
something.
off.
Yeah.
So that's the way I view it.
It's just a fascinating grouping of teams, obviously with the two conferences, but there's not really an underdog in this field. Maybe the closest thing is Kentucky making its first appearance. Florida wasn't a national seed. We know they were a 3 seed in the Stillwater Regional, and they've made their way here. Virginia's a perennial power. Carolina's been here before. Tennessee is really taken over the last 5 years in college baseball. A&M, perennial. Florida State may be the best program to never win a title. There's the Noles' 24th appearance in Omaha without winning one of the North Carolina State, who's been here before as well. So not only do these teams know each other, outside of Kentucky, they're familiar with the stage. And I think that makes a difference too. We'll get into the teams a little bit more later, but when it comes to familiarity versus something new, I think there's a balance, and it kind of depends on where the sport is at. If you think about like the NBA, a Pacers Heat series probably doesn't have the same effect now as it did 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, a Knicks Celtics series might always have some of that buzz, but with Lakers, if the Lakers would have made the finals against the Celtics, would that series have the same buzz as it did 15 years ago? Probably not, right? There is a time and a place for a run like we had with the Warriors and the Cavs in the NBA. There's times where you want your Yankees and Dodgers World Series year after year because it's the best of the best. But sometimes you need like an Oral Roberts last year. You need, a Stony Brook or a Coastal Carolina to pop up and win at a story. If you're telling me little old Kentucky is the best story at the College World Series, I'm slightly bummed. You know, I think it's good to have at least one underdog, if not two, in Omaha every single year to give fans something different. But since we don't have that this year, my hope, Strick, is that we just get a lot of high-level baseball, a lot of 1 or 2 run games. Maybe some of them are 10-8, maybe some of them are 3-1. But since these teams are so familiar, since they've been here on the stage before, if we're not going to have a Cinderella run, let's just see a week of really good baseball.
Man, well said. Shout out to Old Dad 34 on the Sauter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. Thanks for chiming in, Old Dad 34. He says that I would prefer teams that don't know each other and how they play. And so you spoke it well. I would agree with you. I want high-level baseball if that's going to be the case. I just want great baseball, intense games.
Yeah.
That each time it comes down to the last maybe 3 innings where pitchers got to step up, hitters got to step up, and it's who does it the best at the end of the games. I love those, and it's fun to have those walk-off moments, stuff like that. So that's going to be.
We know Omaha shows up. We hope that they get a bunch of good games. Looks like it's pretty
the field
full.
is big, so
field is big and tricky. Did you notice the pattern on the outfield grass?
No.
If you look at it from overhead or from the press box, the outfield grass, the pattern is a championship trophy.
Oh, wow. Now, that's amazing that they could do that.
Job well done by the grounds crew there.
Yeah.
Teams that know each other versus not knowing each other. What we're not saying here is that there needs to be a cap on the number of ACC or SEC teams, right? At some point, some other conference, whether it's the Pac-12, right, dead and gone, but like an Oregon State who's going to be playing an independent schedule. Can we get an Indiana State, in there who's hosted a regional a couple of times, and East Carolina out of the American? Shoot, even like UConn out of the Big East, not to mention all the Big Ten teams like Michigan that's made a run. Indiana's been here before. But the SEC and the ACC are not going to roll over for anyone. They have the history, they have the tradition, they have the money, they have the ball rolling. So at some point, there has to be another conference, a team, a head coach somewhere that gets tired of it, that says, we don't want Omaha to turn into the SEC, ACC Invitational. We get it. More likely than not, there's going to be a plurality of ACC and SEC teams in Omaha every year. That's fine. You need those staples, those fan bases that travel well, that have a good time, that show up and represent. But, man, I hope across the country people see, people in position to make decisions see that we only have 2 conferences represented and say, nah, bump that, we're getting there.
Here's the thing to watch for the next 3 to 5 years. and this is the question because I like what you said, but this is the thing. Is this something we're going to start seeing more? Like, listen, I think we've seen a lot of this in corporate America.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a lot of mom and pops have had to go out of business after COVID and after a lot of these, lockdowns and all these things like that. They're just not. Now inflation is taking over, and now it's hindered a lot of the smaller businesses, but the big ones are coming in and swooping.
Yeah.
So that was a start to that. Now we have NIL. Now we have transfer portal. The combination of NIL and transfer portal works better for the big boy than it does for the little guy. Mm-hmm. Where we used to see a lot of these Cinderella stories, is it still possible? I think it's getting worse and worse possible for us to have those Butler moments, those new Gonzagas,
San Diego State, Florida Atlantic.
Mm-hmm. It's getting worse and worse for those to start happening because so much movement does a few things. It minimizes unity. Mm-hmm. We're seeing that at the professional level right now. To me, it's not that Dallas is not capable of beating Boston. It's not that the matchup. It's the fact that halfway through the season, you brought in two significant contributors on your team in Gaffords and P.J. Washington. Mm-hmm. P.J. Washington's your third leading scorer, and he comes in half season. Mm-hmm. Kyrie Irving is the only one who has really had that type of significant experience at this level.
Well, think about this. He was a midseason addition last year.
Exactly. So you're looking at Boston. Yes, everybody has new additions, but at the same time, your core elements, Horford, Brown, Tatum, and White came in, but he's
off-season
integrated
guy.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you have a good core element of your team, and you're seeing the difference of what. So when I look at baseball, I'm saying teams that are able to retain, sustain, keep their core elements together, but add those core elements because they've got the benefits of money. So you're going to see ACC, you're going to see Big 12, and you're going to see SEC and sprinkle in a little bit of Big 10. Big 10's hindrance is the fact that they don't have as long of time to put together those. And when it's time to start the season, guess where they got to start it?
Down south.
On the road.
Yep.
So they don't have the abilities to get off to sometimes these great starts that most do. I don't know. That was a long thing, but I had to kind of set the groundwork for where I was going with that conversation.
It's not a simple answer, right? It's not a simple thing. There's a lot of stuff working together. We'll take a break. When we get back, 8 teams, 8 monikers. Omaheels, Omahoos, Nolmaha. We'll rank the 8. Which is our favorite? Which is our least favorite? We'll wrap up hour 1 of On the Block with that.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and right now they are offering huge, and I mean huge discounts at Koppel. Get over $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing on select Sierras or Silverados. Plus, Costco members receive another $1,000 off. Yes, that's happening right now in Louisville. $9,000 off list price or 1.9% financing. You pick what works for you. Costco members, please contact us at the store or at KoppelCars.com. All deals with approved credit must trade and finance.
Problem gambling affects millions of Americans daily, of all ages and walks of life. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up.
Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is Beer.
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a boat. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
How many times has the dad in your life complained about being tired and sore and done nothing about it? Why not change things up this year for Father's Day with a gift certificate for a massage from the Body Shop? It's not a day at the golf course or a new tool for the shop, but it is something that can make activities less painful going forward. Get Dad a gift certificate today for Father's Day at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Soulful Casino in Havelock is a family-owned business, providing incredible food and service that'll have you craving more with every bite. Soulful Casino offers everything from pulled pork to fried chicken, catfish, ribs, and even quesadillas. You want sides? They've got them. From fries, green beans and baked beans, to collard greens, potato salad, and sweet dill corn. Stop by for lunch as they have specials Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 2 p.m. That's Soulful Casino, located in Havelock, where every bite you take fills the soul.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour, every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rolling right along here from the Blur Tailgate at 12th and Cass, a block away from Charles Schwab Field. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland, DP, back with you here for On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. All right, every year, the 8 teams get their monikers, official, unofficial, for being in Omaha. We're going to go down the line here. We go Strickland, then DP for all 8 monikers.
Are we doing a prize, an elimination to the top one? How are we doing it?
Let's just go out of 5 stars first, and then we'll pick your 2
5
favorites.
stars, 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Okay. 1 being low, 5 being high. All right, Stricky, Tennessee, Oma Vols.
Give me a 4.
DP?
4.
Okay. Florida State, Nolmaha.
It's got to be a 3 for me because no is in it. No, yeah. I don't like no nothing.
Nola Hall would have been better.
Yeah. Nola
Hall
Yeah.
would have been better. So 3.
All right. Omahoos for Virginia. Omahoos.
You like that? Omahoos. I kind of like that.
Like that a lot.
I'm looking at 4.5.
Yeah,
4.5.
Yeah, 4.6.
Okay. Carolina has Oma Heels.
That's not bad. 3.5. 3.5.
3.9.
3.5.
Can't give it 4.
I give it a 0.
Yeah. That's why I knew you
do.
were gonna balance out. I knew you had it.
Kentucky, Oma Cats.
2.
Yeah.
No, it's not 4.
Yeah. I'll be nice and give it a 3, but no.
North Carolina State, the Wolfpack, Oma Howl.
No,
Howl.
the shirts that are being sold. So shout out my girl Ivy Gardner, who played for the great K Yao back in the day, and I sent her a picture. I literally just sent her the picture of the T-shirt, and it's an Oma Pack. It's the Oma Pack.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, I like
Oma
that.
Pack. So I'm gonna
like
give that
that.
a 4.
Omaha, nah.
Oma Pack.
2.2.
Look, seriously, I kid you not. Oma Pack.
Yeah, I'm rolling
that's
with
better.
that.
That's
Yeah,
better.
I'm rolling with that.
All right.
Omaha.
Florida has 2 options here. We have to decide our favorite. Number 1 is just O''Maha for O'Sullivan, their head coach, or Flo Maha.
Yo, you got Flo Rida.
How do you miss that layup?
Which one?
It's got to be Flomaha.
Yo,
you can't mess. How do you miss
that right there? Is a 5 for Stricky.
Yeah,
Flomaha's a 5.
Flomaha
rolling
is
you got
serious.
Flo Rida. You got there's so many
It's
things.
serious.
That's
It's serious. That's a 4.5.
Okay, then finally you have Texas A&M with Texas A&M Omaha.
1.
What does the guy say on the TV show? The worst.
The worst. That's a.
All right, so I believe we are between Omahoos and Flomaha for number 1. DP, your ultimate winner.
It's who's your daddy, baby?
Okay, Stricky, Omahoos or Flomaha?
Flomaha for Stricky.
You're going Flomaha?
Well, home rules.
Flomaha.
Home rules. Look, we're both loyal to the crib.
Yeah.
We're both loyal to the crib. We're 100% okay with that.
I am actually not a Nolmaha hater. I'm with you that Nolaha would have been better, but I'm not as far out on Nolmaha personally. It's not my winner.
I need to understand why.
But
no, if you're trying to win me at Florida State, it's Chop Mahal.
Now I'm feeling a little better about that.
What about Omachop?
No, even that one's
no,
better.
but Chop Mahal is like, we home. This is it. Like, come get this.
I can be talked into it.
Come get this.
I flow with that more than
Come
Omaha.
get this.
Omaha? That's scary.
Yeah. But the Aggies, the worst.
Classic.
By far
Classic. Hey, Trev Alberts, if you're here, stop by Bar. We'd love to have a conversation.
The worst.
By far the
It's
worst.
the worst. It's the worst.
Absolutely horrible.
Let's take a break. Get to hour 2 of On the Block. Hour 2, lots ahead. Who are Husker fans rooting for in the College World Series? Neutral fans. Who are you rooting for? We'll go through the teams, their stories, their options. Talk some NBA Finals Game 4, but also a new NIL bill signed by Governor Jim Pillen at Memorial Stadium today. What does that entail? What could it mean for the future? We'll get into that and plenty more when we get to hour 2 of On the Block. We're here at Blur Party's Tailgate, 12th and Cass in Omaha. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: a chance of showers and storms late in the day, otherwise increasing clouds with a high around 90. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low around 67. And tomorrow, the chance of showers and thunderstorms, otherwise partly sunny with a high around 90. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cluck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
Hey, Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton, Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Erick Services takes this time to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day. We hope that everyone is able to show how much they care for and respect the dads in their life for this weekend especially, but in everyday life too. This important message comes to you from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Erick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Erick Services, on the air because they care.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month.
Hurry, deal ends June 14th. Join now, online or at your local PF Club.
See Home Club for details.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Ready to upgrade your combine in 2024? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.75% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of June. When you purchase a pre-owned S or X combine from Landmark, know you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
All right, it's time for Final Jeopardy. It's been a tight contest today that all comes down to this final question. No summer picnic or family get-together or trip to the lake is complete without this particular item. Let's go first to Bob.
What is beer?
No, that's not it. Think about the kids. Over to you, Farley.
What is corn on the cob?
Tough to grill that on a bow. Wrong again. Grace, this time for the win.
What is Bure's cheese spread?
We have a winner! Bure's cheese spread, available in most local grocers in Nebraska.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
How many times has the dad in your life complained about being tired and sore and done nothing about it? Why not change things up this year for Father's Day with a gift certificate for a massage from the Body Shop? It's not a day at the golf course or a new tool for the shop, but it is something that can make activities less painful going forward. Get Dad a gift certificate today for Father's Day at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of a Friday show from the Big O. Austin Orman, Erick Strickland, DP, popping in and out of the show here. This is On the Block, brought to you by NEBCO. Lots going on with NEBCO. Check it all out at nebcoinc.com. We are live from the Blur tailgate at the Hilton Omaha, 12th and Cass Street. We are here today. We are here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as well before the championship series is next week, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All sorts of packages available for you. Parties open from 10:30 in the morning all the way until midnight. That's right. Even though we're off air at 6 here, the party keeps rolling at Blur until midnight. If you're going to the game, you're on your way. Cool off, catch your breath, get a nice drink before you get into the stadium. Much cheaper, much more approachable here at Blur. If you are going to both games, need something to do between, stop by Blur. Take a load off on the couch, put your feet in the cold tub, something like that. Or if you're going to the night game, hey, get your night started here. And then when you're done, guess what? Get a ticket, get yourself in here, and the night off right. I'm Austin Orman with Erick Strickland. We want your thoughts on the show as well, 402-464-5685. That's our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line. Of course, comment section on stream open for you on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter as well. And Allo Channel 961. Appreciate our great friends at Allo for that. 2 questions. Who do you think wins the College World Series, and who do you want to win? Let us know. Who do you think wins, and who do you want to win? Strick, we're going to do this a little bit differently for our preview here. I'll tell people a little bit about the team, but I want your NBA thoughts. Did you play with any of the guys from these schools, from any of these schools? Are you rooting for their school or not because of them? Let's start with the number 1 overall seed, Tennessee. We've seen it really all week since they officially punched their ticket to Omaha. A number 1 overall seed has not won the college baseball national championship since Miami in 1999. Tennessee has arguably the best player of the year in Christian Moore, a couple really solid pitchers. You mentioned having to do something different, right? What Tennessee does very well is hit home runs. They lead the country, 173 bombs on the year, 5 guys with an on-base plus slugging over 1,000, which is incredible. 7th appearance here in Omaha for Tennessee. They made it in 2021, missed it in 2022 when they were the overall number 1 seed, and then also made it last year. So 3 of the last 4 for Tennessee. In the league, did you play with anyone from Tennessee?
Yeah, Allen Houston.
Aha.
Yeah, with the Knicks. Allen Houston played with Tennessee. Yeah.
Are you rooting for Tennessee because of Allen Houston or rooting against Tennessee because of Allen Houston?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. I don't really have a dog in this fight.
Okay.
I don't even know if I'm rooting for anybody in particular. I think I'm along as someone like you in your earlier statement when you said, I'm just looking for good baseball. And at the end of the day, who ends up winning will be because they put together the best run within this series. So I don't necessarily have a dog or pony in any of these fights, but I see where you're going with, because you're taking into account my basketball, the way I view in this series.
Teams and schools.
So I get it. But I really don't have a dog in this. I'm just enjoying the blur.
Sure.
I'm here for the fun. I'm here for the atmosphere and the excitement of this time. I'm here for those like Tennessee who had high expectations. They're here excited because they missed the mark last year.
Yep.
And I'm here to see what they're going to do in redemption. I'm looking for those little mini stories.
Sure.
To root for.
Sure. So Tennessee, the number 1 overall seed, they are the lone SEC team in their bracket. The other 3 are ACC teams. You got a game going on right now. It's 2-1 Virginia leading Carolina in the bottom of the 6th inning. Looks like we're going to have a 2-2 count here, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Before we get to these two teams here, Strick, Florida State, one of the blue blood college baseball programs. They have been to Omaha 24 times. Only 1 out of every 8 times have they appeared in a championship game, and they've never won it. You talk about the Buffalo Bills in the 90s making 4 straight Super Bowls and not winning it. You think of all these other teams that the Vikings, right? They get so close without winning a title. Florida State has been in Omaha now 24 times without winning a national championship. At some point, you would think the numbers would swing back in their favor, but that's incredible to be here 24 times or 23 previous times and not win it once.
What is that in comparison to in other sports? Is that like the old Red Sox before they finally was able to break through?
Shoot, maybe.
Is that like what? The Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
In football? Like that's
something like that.
Like, but you gotta say, I mean, Detroit really didn't get there though up until this recent time.
Yeah.
So I think I feel bad, more bad. That's even a word. I don't think it's I feel worse.
More worser.
Right. I feel worse for Detroit actually.
Sure.
Because
they didn't sniff it.
Right. Or Cleveland.
Yeah.
I mean, but even they got a sniff or close. But I feel bad for them more so than because getting there is all good, but just not really having that run for. So I would say I maybe feel worse for Florida State than I do for the Buffalo Bills.
Woo! Fair.
Because there's 29 times you've gotten here, but it's not the big game though.
No.
I'm talking about you was like on the verge of the big one.
Yeah.
I don't think Florida State's been 29 times on the verge of the big one.
No, 3 times.
3 times. So actually, I feel worse for Buffalo.
If
you go 5 straight and don't come out with one, I feel bad for you.
Right. If you're looking for a matchup in tonight's game between Tennessee and Florida State, the hitting matchup is going to be Christian Moore, second baseman for Tennessee, and then James Tibbs, the third. Then maybe the best hitter in the country out of Florida State and Tallahassee. Very balanced lineup for Florida State. 9 players have driven in 26 runs or more. Florida State finishes third in their division. They're here in Omaha. All right, the game going on right now. North Carolina, 5 pitchers that threw 50-plus innings this year. That's really the bulk of the innings for the Tar Heels. Virginia had 3 players play in all 61 games. A bit of a mixed bag here for these two schools, Strick. North Carolina has been to Omaha 12 times. They've been runner-up twice, also never won a title. They made 4 straight College World Series, 06, 07, 08, 09, probably the best run by any one class in college baseball history. They weren't able to win a championship. On the flip side, you have Virginia. In its rich baseball history, did not even make the College World Series until 2009, and now they've made it 7 times since then, made it 3 out of 4 like Tennessee, including winning a championship in 2015. All right, did you play with anyone from Florida State in the NBA?
Yeah, Charlie Ward.
Oh, duh. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Charlie better at football or basketball?
Charlie was a tremendous leader, defender. I mean, he basically took his football qualities as a quarterback onto his point guard in his decision-making and the way that he defended his footwork, all of that stuff. So I just think Charlie was ahead of his time as far as the way that they viewed quarterbacks.
Okay. Oh, quarterback. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So he was just saying, hey, I think if Charlie comes out a little bit later, I think he's more in line to – I think he's probably better than Kyler Murray.
Is he Jalen Hurts?
I think they're very similar. I think that's a good comparison if you're looking at Jalen Hurts. But he could have been definitely a top draft pick in the quarterback position coming up. He just was ahead of his time. He was running a style of football that they didn't really believe it was true to form, but now that's the style that they have now, and he would have been great at it. You were talking North Carolina.
Yeah. I know you played with plenty of guys out of the league.
Yeah. Hubert's one, definitely. But what I'll say, though, is in this stadium, they have something that benefits them that's the opposite contrary to what Tennessee has, which is mashers.
Sure.
Right? They have pitchers.
Yeah.
I think in this stadium, that helps well. I mean, this is what's working for them right now. I mean, it's a 2-1 game. In tight games like this, with the expectation that you just stated, it's good to have good pitching.
Yes.
Multiple guys that can go long innings without having to dig too deep into your bullpen. So that's what you're hoping can take you through the brunt of this series.
Yeah, 5 guys with 50 innings pitched. You mentioned it, right? Saving the bullpen, but being able to deploy it, strategically, right? You have to have someone's got to get the outs. The outs don't just magically appear, as a Virginia player just got plunked. He'll make his way down to first base here in the top of the 7th inning. But that's part of the fun, I think, of watching tournaments that are set up like the College World Series, like regionals and super regionals is that you can't just rely on one guy to throw all the innings, right? Softball, you can get away with having 1 or 2 players carry the bulk of the work. In baseball, that's not going to happen, right? To get a complete game is rare, especially against such patient offenses like you'll see here in the College World Series. Having multiple guys, like you said, that can get you off on the right foot, they can get you 5 or 6 solid innings as a starter. A bullpen guy, right, that maybe your starter only goes 3 innings. A bullpen guy that can get you to the 7th, 8th, 9th innings in your back of the bullpen arms. I'm with you. I think it sets up pretty well for Carolina in that front. Let's move to bracket number 2 here. We're starting with Kentucky, their first appearance ever in the College World Series. So congratulations to the Wildcats out of Lexington. Really big deal, to have little brother step up, right, Trick? You look at your Floridas, your Arkansas, your Tennessees, your LSUs, whoever, whatever else. This is a program in Kentucky that we talk about where it's a top-heavy league to some degree, but you've seen Ole Miss, you've seen Mississippi State be good. Kentucky is a program in the SEC that has forced everyone else to get better at basketball, but Kentucky learned its own lesson and got good at baseball finally, right? It wasn't content with getting its teeth kicked in time and time again. Kentucky said, hey, we're sick of this. We're going to invest in baseball. We're going to, we know who's setting the tone in baseball like we do in basketball, but we see basketball is catching up to us. Let's catch up in baseball. Kentucky, to me, is the underdog here of the weekend. A really awesome story.
Let's be honest. It hasn't even stopped just at baseball.
No.
It is crept into football.
Yeah.
So it looks to me that Kentucky's saying to themselves, we want to be a well-rounded program.
Sure. Athletic department.
Department. We don't want to have a focus in any one area. We understand where the money resides, and that's in football. We understand what conference we're in and what we're getting out of it. We want to use the resources that we're getting in order to go to that level and do what they need to do to well-round their program.
The other team that I think is maybe the best story in the College World Series is North Carolina State, right? It's a program that's been here before. 4th time they finished 3rd as their best finish. But, Strick, the last time that North Carolina State was here is one of the craziest stories in College World Series history. NC State had made a bit of a run. They were kind of the Cinderella that year. They were up against Vanderbilt. I don't remember if Vandy was the number 1 overall seed, but Vandy was a top seed, right? Perennial power. North Carolina State's facing them. They beat them, forcing the if necessary game. Vanderbilt has to win in order to play another one. NC State, there's a day between games. This is still when COVID testing was going on. Carolina State had a player test positive for COVID, have to take another test again the next morning, and by then, 2 more players tested positive. I think 1 more, the morning of the game. So North Carolina State on the verge of advancing to the championship series, looking for its first title in school history, gets sent home. It's been a good program. They've rebounded from it well, but to some degree, North Carolina State, I think, is going to attract a lot of fans because of the way their last run ended.
That's well said, and your heart's got to go out to them. I mean, it really does. The very unfortunate situation and circumstance. And the craziness of that time was there were a lot of false positives.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So the fact of there were a lot of people that had it that didn't have it, or it wasn't really it was kind of a dormant stage. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, but there did come out that there was a lot of false positives. People that didn't have it so you would hope that wasn't the case and that didn't hurt them that way. This is why the story to me would be even better if they're able to make a good run here.
Sure would be. Best player you played with in the NBA out of Kentucky?
Antoine Walker.
Tuan? Nice. Anyone from NC State?
Can't say I remember, but a good friend of mine from NC State is Spud Webb.
True. Talked to Spudnik, head of the Final Four.
Yeah.
Appreciate him coming on back in. Shoot, that was April already.
Yeah.
Time flies,
right?
Sure does. 2 more teams to talk about here this segment: Texas A&M and Florida. The big story for Texas A&M is Braden Montgomery, star outfielder, had made 2 College World Series appearances the last couple years with Stanford. Transfers down to College Station to play for Coach Schlossnagle and A&M. He fractured his ankle in Super Regional, so he is out. He will not take the field for the Aggies. He's probably their best overall player, but Jace LaViolet and Gavin Grahovic will certainly pick up some slack in the lineup. They've been great, a lot of notable pitchers as well. Texas A&M, Strick, had 7 players drafted last year. This is a team that lost a lot of talent, but you think about the resources in College Station, they're standing as a power.
If you can pay the buyout.
Oh, the
and
Jimbo
not,
buyout?
And not miss it. Like, you just like, you just go in there and James Harden it. Just go in there and start just making it rain. If you can do that, now I know why your boy might have made the move. Now I know why your boy made a move. And your boy.
Our boy. He's closer to your boy than my boy.
He is closer to my boy.
8th appearance in Omaha for Texas A&M. The Aggies have also not won a title. We'll see if they're not a rebuild, their reload works out for them. Final team to talk about is Florida. 2nd most appearances in the field. They've made it 14 times. They won a title back in 2017. I like Florida because of Brady Singer. Wyatt Langford's a really fun player. Jackson Kowar from Florida did not develop the way that I thought he would with my beloved Kansas City Royals. I know we've talked a lot about Florida given that Nebraska saw them, but it bears repeating. Jack Caglione, stud. Tyler Shelnut, really good. Peterson, I assume, will get the ball for them in game 1 tomorrow. The freshman Fisher Jamison out of the bullpen as well. 7 players with double-digit home runs. Strick, we saw this in Stillwater down at O'Brate Stadium. You mentioned Florida, right? Seems like they were built for the regionals and the super regionals. I'm less concerned about Florida from an experience standpoint. They were the national runner-up last year. I am concerned about Florida if the wind's not blowing out in a big park. Will they be able to string singles and doubles together instead of relying on the home run?
Well, yeah, well said. And here's the thing. Their pitching is not very good.
No.
They'll get a little bit of reprieve because of the size of the stadium. But if you're going to talk about a story, they're probably the one you'd want to talk about. The fact that nobody and their mama would have expected Florida to return after the way that their season went. I mean, barely over 500.
One game over 500.
Exactly. Yeah, just by the shaky. They were shaky.
Shaky.
So when you look at Florida,
how did that guy avoid that?
Story. Yeah, that was crazy. Yes. What? Yeah.
There's Buzz in the tower, and then there's Clip in the. Oh
Boy,
my gosh.
that was a maverick moment. If you know, then you know. Can I buzz the tower? The pattern is full. No, Ghost Rider. That pattern was full, but it was close to being buzzed. Yeah, real tight. But nonetheless, that's the story probably outside of maybe Tennessee.
As the number one overall, Kentucky first appearance.
Yeah, there's a couple of stories there that you could probably root for.
The final thing I want to bring up about Florida is Jack Caglione. Best player on the team, right? Two-way player. Bats lefty, hits the tar out of the ball. Also, throws left-handed on the mound, can run it up there into the mid-upper 90s. But Strick, last year, Jack Caglione went only 5 for 26 in the College World Series. He bats in the 2-hole for Florida. He is the heart and the soul of that Florida lineup. I'm curious to see how he handles the big stage. If he gets 26 at-bats again, Florida's made it a long way. Probably back to the championship game out of this 3 SEC, 1 ACC team bracket number 2. But Florida's best player can't go 5 for 26 again. What'll tell me a lot about Jack Caglione is if he's learned from last year, steps up and sees if he can put Florida on his back this year.
Well, sometimes it can be pressure.
Yeah.
And when I say pressure, is not just necessarily that you're scared of the moment, but you begin to press in the moment. And because you have been such a major part, you are the heartbeat of Florida, you can get into these situations and you just want to. So you start swinging at pitches, you're a little bit more aggressive, instead of allowing the game to come to you and allowing them to throw you your types of pitches. You get a little bit more aggressive and get ahead of yourself. So, yeah, hopefully he will have learned a lesson.
31 homers in the regular season, added his fair share in Stillwater as well. Lots to monitor here, just a block away from the College World Series. We're at the Blur Tailgate here at 12th and Cass, just outside the Hilton Omaha. Brad, are you picking Flomaha or are you rooting for Flomaha? Let us know on the text line. We'll still take your picks. Who are you rooting for this next week and change in Omaha? Who do you think will win? Let us know, 402-464-5685. We'll talk some NBA Finals. We'll talk some Nebraska NIL and more as we continue on the block here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
The 31st Annual Testicle Festival, Saturday, June 15th at Round the Bend Steakhouse, just off I-80, exit 426. Swing out 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. for music, fireworks, and, of course, nuts. Visit roundthebendsteakhouse.com for more.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through June 18th is for Father's Day. Buy a cowboy steak and get 2 free 6-ounce sirloins. Plus, the mystery box is back with a $225 value of meat for just $99. Also, 20% off all Smithy pans and 20% off aprons. Locations at 84th and Havelock and 30th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from a program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Highball Bar in downtown Lincoln is open and located just north of 11th and O Street. Highball Bar offers a vibe and atmosphere like no other, making it the perfect place to grab a drink or beverage. Highball Bar features great events such as Karaoke Sunday, $4 Tito's on Mondays, Jack Daniel specials on Wednesdays, and much more. Make Highball Bar your go-to spot after a hard day at work or on the weekend. Highball Bar, located at 122 North 11th Street in downtown Lincoln.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block. Austin Norman, Erick Strickland with you. Former Husker Kyle Perry just walked by. He was on with Nick. Make sure you go back and listen to the happy hour. A lot of good baseball conversation there between a couple baseball guys, Nick and KP. Stricky's a baseball guy himself, but a basketball connoisseur as well. So we'll pick your brain on the NBA Finals here in just a little bit. Stricky, is your Mavs looking to avoid a sweep at the hands of your Celtics? Your boys, they're both your boys. We don't discriminate here. In the news, though, Jim Pillen, governor of Nebraska, sat down where I can't tell if this is the Hendricks or at Memorial Stadium or where this is, but Jim Pillen signed Nebraska LB 1393 today with Amy Williams, Matt Rule, Fred Hoiberg, and Troy Dannon present in the room as well. Like, okay, what's he doing in Memorial Stadium or a Husker facility signing a bill? Well, it's an NIL bill. It's a name, image, and likeness bill for the state of Nebraska. And Braley Keller, who's with Open Doors, Nick and I talked to him month and a half, 2 months ago now during the happy hour, kind of lays out the basic framework here. First of all, what it prevents. It prevents athletes from being employees in the state of Nebraska, and it prevents schools from reporting athlete disclosures. Little interesting there. Not sure why that'd have to be off the table. Here's what it allows, though. 1393 allows schools, universities, to facilitate NIL deals with and for its players. It allows.
So that eliminates the NCAA of. I just want to understand.
Yeah.
That eliminates the NCAA for doing the stuff like, I think Florida State or something like that was taking one of their players to an NIL deal and they got in trouble for it.
Yes.
So it would eliminate and cover them from that.
Okay. Yep. It allows schools to contract with a third party. Okay.
I.e. Pillins, right, trying to keep the Nebraska businesses, your open doors happy.
Yep, in the
and
state.
Your Brad Davison.
Oh, Matt?
Yeah, Matt Davison.
1890? Yeah.
Keep
It's trying to keep Nebraska money in Nebraska, essentially, in a
Mhm.
lot of ways. Here's an interesting one, Strick. It allows an athlete promo of a sporting event they're playing in. So imagine you have Nebraska-Wisconsin volleyball that night. Now you can pay athletes to record a video ahead of Nebraska-Wisconsin and say, hey, y'all come out and support us. This is a big match. It's number 1 versus number 2 here at the Devaney, and they get paid for it. They can be on promotional posters. They can, if you have a theme night, right, a blackout night, a whiteout night, a redout night, whatever it is, you can put athlete names, images, and likenesses on there. Athletes can get paid for it. And then, of course, we're still waiting on the final details of the House versus NCAA settlement. This 1393 allows schools to pay athletes for its own name, image, and likeness if the NCAA bylaws and the settlement allows. A lot going on there. Nebraska is not the first state to enact a lot of these laws. Florida, Georgia, Texas, California have gotten out on the forefront of a little bit of this. But Nebraska is also not last when it comes to this. And, Strick, I think that's a little bit of a big deal, is that for Nebraska to get back to where Nebraska fans want it to be, Nebraska has to innovate. Nebraska has to be closer to the front than behind. So now I think that the legislative framework is laid out and in place. Now it's on the university, the head coaches, to get the boosters to pony up. It's on the head coaches and the athletic director, Troy Dannon, to say, hey, programs, step up and earn this money. You can use it. It is out there, but it's not going to be given to you for free. Here are so many more ways you can use it. Go earn it.
Is this going to help us in the competition with your Alabamas, your Kentuckys, do you foresee something like this being a help in that specific instance, making it better? Is it going to help for a program we just talked about that has a whole bunch of, just looks like they're doing better than Nebraska right now? I mean, is it going to help in that aspect? I don't know.
It's not going to hurt, right? I think this is more Nebraska catching up than it is Nebraska getting way out in front.
We're behind like normal.
So you're not like super far behind. You're still ahead of a fair number of states, but you're not exactly pushing the envelope here. There's been already a couple handfuls of states that have passed this legislation, so you're not last, but you're not first. You're kind of stuck in the middle, moving at your own pace there. But I think Nebraska being where it is, with the resource situation being what it is, the closer you are to the forefront, the better. And here's the thing. You're a business guy. You're an entrepreneur. You think like this. The ones that jump out there first, that take on more risk, get more reward. It feels like Nebraska's waiting to see some test cases and then jumping in, where if it goes wrong, of course it's going to stink for Nebraska. It's going to be harder for Nebraska to recover just on a sheer numbers game. There's maybe not as much, pure bottom line number of resources, but doesn't Nebraska have to start taking chances, taking big swings, instead of trying to string singles together? I think Nebraska, just as an athletic department, at some point just has to say, okay, we're overhauling everything. We are going all in on this model. We'll try it for 5 or 10 years. If it works, we keep it going. If it doesn't work, we'll back off and try something new. But instead, I think Nebraska's maybe just playing it a little too safe generally.
I would agree that Nebraska is always been very safe. It's good to be conservative. I think you have to take calculated risks sometimes. I mean, a risk is a risk, but there's also a calculation of the risk that you're taking.
Yeah.
Because you have to acknowledge that you have disadvantages. It's one of the reasons why Nebraska left the Big 12. In the same reason that Texas was obviously the dominating, controlling force. Nebraska had been used to being in that position.
Yeah.
So it's an understanding as to why they moved, but they've consistently been not calculated, but just waiting, and then maybe a little bit behind, and then by the time you start to try to step, it changes.
Yeah.
And so it's constantly evolving. It's like technology. It's like, these phones. Like every year or two, there's a new one that comes out. If you're not willing to take a calculated risk to jump ahead of a trend or an idea, or similar to what we talked about with the Pac-12, the Big 12.
Yeah.
In the naming rights situation.
Yeah.
That's innovative. Look, it may not work. It might, but it could bring a lot of capital, because you're fighting an uphill battle over the next 5 years if you do not figure out a way to do it. And there's nothing so now the next step is the SEC and is the Big Ten going to stay and be like Blockbuster and stay and be like Kmart and they're not going to be innovative and say, hey, we've got to get innovative and creative. We can't just sit on this TV money deal and think that we're gravy. Why not be more than gravy?
Right. I will say, at the end of the day, I think there's already enough money for everything to get accomplished. I don't think there needs to be even more. I think that the money that's already there, it just needs to be used better.
Right.
More often than not. But when you look at this NIL bill being signed by Jim Pillen today, the governor of Nebraska, the other thing on top of the conference, naming sponsorships, is there's a proposal on the table for schools to be able to negotiate and put their own sponsors on football fields, whether that's at midfield or on the 20s or 25, wherever, which, okay, I get it. Emeritus is already on the floor at Devaney, right? There's FNBO, I think, is on the floor at PBA. It's already there. It's already a part of it. It's just not for football, which is the cash cow, we know. These universities could be able to rake in even more money. I think the Big Ten, now that the Big 12 and Conference USA have, gotten these talks going, it wouldn't shock me if the Big Ten is next in line. But if you're Nebraska, maybe the next step for you is, can we get someone to sponsor the football field or the jersey patches, right? I know that was a big deal for the NBA and MLB recently. If I'm Nebraska, I'm jumping all over jersey patches and field sponsorships before anyone else.
I'm going bigger. If you're wise and smart, but here's the thing, we're shaky. We're always kind of just hovering and waiting. The purists would say there's over almost 400 consecutive sellouts at the Memorial Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm thinking beyond and bigger, I'm saying I'm looking at All-State Memorial Stadium, or I'm looking at State Farm Memorial Stadium, or I'm saying this is what we have, this is who we have coming in, this is our numbers, we turn into the third largest state, and I'm selling it, and I'm saying this is where you want to play ball.
Sure.
But the purist is going to say, no, Memorial Stadium.
They go Dikembe on it. No, not today.
I'm saying, why not?
Yeah.
I'm saying, why not Coca-Cola Memorial Stadium or Pepsi Memorial Stadium or
Mountain Dew Memorial Stadium?
I'm just saying, look, I don't charge a consulting fee in Nebraska. But if I'm
maybe you should.
If I'm you, I would be listening to 93.7 The Ticket right now and figuring out how we can get this big money so we can compete. So that's all I'm saying.
2-2 Virginia.
If I'm wrong, holler at me. 402-464-5685. If you're a super purist, please tell me why that doesn't make sense. Help me out. Okay, that's it.
2-2 Virginia and Carolina in the 8th inning. Last thing for this segment, Strick. Put your BSO meter here in full view.
BSO?
BS.
Oh, my
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Think through that lens here. Athlon reported a story saying that Deion Sanders.
Are you saying my capometer?
Yes, capometer.
Okay.
Yes. Athlon is reporting that Deion Sanders threatened to kick players off the team if they did not attend Shadur Sanders' debut ahead of the Lil Wayne concert after the Colorado spring game. You're not buying?
Cap. Nah, he might have did that on the sneak.
Okay, but what do you think?
He might have did that on the sneak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. True or false?
Do
you think it happened? You think it didn't happen?
Which would give me pause on the fact that it might have happened is, you know what? No, that's not going to give me pause. I think that's cap.
You think that's cap?
I think it's cap.
Here's what the source said. The Wayne concert was the final straw for a few players who hit the transfer portal. When Coach Prime told us we all had to be there to support Shadur as a rapper, those players weren't happy at all. To be honest, it was nothing but a huge distraction, and Daddy Ball was being played. That's what this source said. It's an unnamed source.
Now that I say that sounds like something he might say. But go ahead.
I don't want to believe it.
I don't.
There are so many big, bombastic headlines about Colorado and about Deion that, come on. You can be strongly recommended, but to make something like that mandatory, you have to know is only going to breed resentment. But at the same time, it's just Deion enough. It might actually be true.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
It sounds like that. That's very. Let me just say this. It sounds plausible.
Right.
Not that it's fact.
It's plausible, but improbable.
It ain't WTF.
No.
But it's. And look, it ain't what the is. We talk facts. It ain't facts, but it's plausible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part.
Curious to see if it ends up being true or not. Last question then before we hit break. How much do the naming rights to a stadium run? If you're putting your name on Memorial Stadium.
Talk to DP. DP would have a better insight on something like that.
DP, we're talking about a company potentially getting their name Memorial Stadium. How much is it going to cost for a company to put their name in front of Memorial Stadium?
Oh, wow.
Because you've
year,
been around
FedEx, not the whole contract, but per year.
Yeah, long game, long contract. I would imagine that there is a pool of 10 businesses that would all be willing somewhere in that 25 to 30 million a year, guaranteed 20 years, maybe more, because of the relationships with those sponsors that currently exist. The power broker businesses of Lincoln come to play. Acres, Sand Hills Global. That
so you're looking at like the railroad, ConAgra.
Yeah,
you're looking at
Nebco,
some of those.
the usual suspects that have resource access and the want to, which is most important, especially over long-term agreements, to have that relationship. Now, they have to be careful because not everybody would want the responsibility of tagging the grand dame that is Memorial Stadium. That is the grand lady of Nebraska. So be careful. Be careful. Now, I would have thought that in this proposal to get the new renovated version of it happening, that this deal was done and literally the impetus and the engine for it. That's what it should have been. So that,
well, guess what? It happened down in the Haymarket. It's Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's already there. It's already happened.
Yeah, I mean, for the arena and the stadium. And I mean, in Haymarket Park, it's its own beast and its own thing. And at some point,
Nebco, by the way.
but at some point that becomes negotiable as well. But the reality for Memorial Stadium is that so much of memory business excellence has been tied directly to it. We went through that with RFK and the transition to FedEx Field in D.C., Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and now the Turner Field, and now. So, yeah, there's some venerable old buildings that never get that title, Madison Square Garden. But on the other side, there's always, now there's Crypto Arena, which is taking over the Fabulous Forum and et cetera. So I would think that the power brokers in Lincoln who would want to make sure that all the things. Now, here's the real issue is the people that would partner in this, is that where they want their money to go? In the name of the stadium, so it'll be in the mouth of every Husker fan? Or would they prefer? Would their customers prefer? Would their stockholders prefer that it go to enhance the actual production,
product on the field?
Right? The actual production. So, again, can't speak for them. But if somebody approached me and asked me, would you want the ticket, BDP Communications on top of this, I would rather it go to the people. Because there is now, if you're telling me if I told you the only way you were going to get my money is that it went to the players and not to name the building, I'm making the statement. I can't make that statement for other businesses.
Right.
The fans could dictate. The customers could dictate. But yeah, it's a number, and I'll pull up my phone on the break and we'll go through some of the similars.
Yeah.
Because there are some stadiums, but the Big House, Columbus,
Horseshoe,
right?
Death Valley, Swamp, Bryant-Denny,
Rose Bowl.
Yep.
That the reason you built them, that memorial, is important here.
Ought to be.
It's
History
important
goes forgotten, but it
here.
ought to be.
But there are a lot of memorial stadiums that no longer exist because of money.
Yep.
So it's another thing that Nebraska will have to talk about is, do you want to concede ownership of the most important athletic facility in the state to a corporation's name?
We will see. It is certainly on the horizon. We'll see if it comes to pass. And hey, it's official. I have now seen a fan of all 8 Omaha teams here at Blur Parties today. Took a while, NC State and Florida State, but hey, welcome to the party.
Showed up.
You guys made it. We'll go to break. We'll wrap things up with that list from DP and a little NBA Finals preview tonight. Game 4 between the Mavs and the Celtics to round out on the block.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
How many times has the dad in your life complained about being tired and sore and done nothing about it? Why not change things up this year for Father's Day with a gift certificate for a massage from the Body Shop? It's not a day at the golf course or a new tool for the shop, but it is something that can make activities less painful going forward. Get Dad a gift certificate today for Father's Day at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane. Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Ready to upgrade your combine in 2024? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.75% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of June. When you purchase a pre-owned S or X combine from Landmark, know you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Join us each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon for Youth Football 101 with Tank Perry of the Nebraska Red Wolves of 7-on-7 football. The future of the sport depends on the foundation set at a young age. Hear those stories and more each Saturday from 11 a.m. to noon here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter. Every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Been a great show out here at Blur, Tailgate, Tilton, Omaha, 12th and Cass. Don't forget, we are here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week as well. If you want to join in on the party, join in on the fun, get your tickets at blurevents.com/Omaha. Last year, we could reach out, give you a high five since we were on the near side of the enclosure. This year, if you want to see us, you got to hop in, buy a ticket. And, hey, guess what? We got drink tickets. You get your way in. You're nice enough to us, may as well just use one of our drink tickets on you. That's the offer. We're here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. We're talking a little bit here. It's Austin Norman, Erick Strickland, Derek Pearson with you about naming rights, what they could potentially go for. Roger in Syracuse says, Memorial Stadium is dedicated to the men and women who served and died for this country. Do not tarnish their lives. That's some of that history that I think we know in our heads, but it doesn't always register, right? That Memorial Stadium was built in honor of, memorial people who did something that lost their lives in serving the great nation. Yeah, at some point, you got to remember that. The reason that it's built, that it's sports. It means a lot, but it's also just sports at the end of the day. Is it really worth selling out? I don't know if that's the right phrase or not, but, putting a corporate brand on top of something that was built for a purpose or with a certain group of people in mind.
Well, most of the stadiums around the country at some point were tied to memorial, the word memorial, the idea memorial. And that lasted until there was a financial need or cause. What people will be reminded of once again, that the mystique and the BS of what collegiate sports and pro sports was about, those things, and then you realize, no, behind the scene, behind the Wizard of Oz curtain, it was always money.
Yeah.
It was always money. Always will be money, because that's what people have allowed. Now, here's what's in play. So think of Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Renowned. Super Bowl champions played there. RFK, Robert, it was Memorial Stadium. Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium. The very idea that it was going to, in D.C., honor those things. Now, until money. And then money showed up and said, no, we run this. Green. Cash rules everything around me.
Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all.
But I said Nebraska will reach that fork in the road where the conversation is going to get real here real soon about what is. I've been asking since I got here. I still don't know what priority one is for Nebraska athletics. I don't know. If you tell me it's money, at least I can work from there and wrap my brain from there. If winning is priority one, if it's the Husker pride, Husker power, whatever you tell me it is, I'm going to believe you, because you're now in a space where money is at the top of it for the people in charge. They just pushed this thing through that we talked about. Well, you're going to raise tuition on the students again. No, that's all right. That's the responsibility. That's the response. And because of that, people are saying, wait a minute, there's a shortfall. Well, wait a minute. You raised $450 million to renovate said stadium, and then figured out it might not be enough. After you raised $150 million for the new facility that you may or may not have needed. And it's still not fully 100% functional. So there's still more money and more work to be done. Okay, fine. Then comes NIL and transfer portal and the NCAA rule and the Supreme Court, who say, okay, you have been shorting these student athletes for years.
150, 175 years.
Dang it.
No.
94, 95, 96.
Well, no. NC State basketball went back to 83.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, it went back in time in every space. So I'm pretty sure if you ask the 70 Huskers, 71 Huskers, 72 Huskers, whether all of the calls and all of the video and all of the history behind
Even
it.
still.
Right. Even still, are you making money off of that? And then in asking that question, this is the thing. This is the conversation, Strick. I said it yesterday. Here's my real thing, Strick, that I've been in Husker for 5 years, and I've never seen an Erick Strickland Huskers jersey. I've never seen an Amon Green Huskers jersey. I've never seen them. And I don't know that any other place, a Hall of Fame player, should have that sort of representation. So for whatever the reasons are, now we know that around the leagues, various leagues, give you an idea. FedEx Field, the deal is worth $7.6 million a year through 2025. $7.6 million through 2025. Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia for the Eagles. $7.6 million a year, all the way through 2026.
7.6 what?
Million.
Wow. All the
Million.
way through 2026.
Million. Now, if you go through these numbers and you understand that in some of the places, some of these businesses were had some shenanigans going on, and they sponsored these buildings and then went bankrupt.
Yeah.
They went broke.
Yeah.
They went broke. And you go, wow, that's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Minute Maid Park, Houston, $6.6 million this year.
Minute Maid Park.
So Coca-Cola writing the check.
Well, think about this. The one that came to mind for me first, DP, was a place that Nebraska volleyball's going to open the year. Louisville, one of the first ones to name their arena after a corporate sponsor, the KFC Yum Center.
Minnesota, Target Center.
Center.
We know, listen, we know that there's marketing money that exists. And it is set aside by these corporations with the proper write-offs, proper ledgers for them to go in, so it affects the ledger the right way. But the real problem is the people in positions of power having to decide, especially now, do we go and finish building the building, or do we set aside this number, whatever number we can get for the building? Can we then set aside that number for athletes in the program?
Right.
And to me, that seems to be a logical business decision. But I can't tell folks how to do business. There are partners of theirs who have money who could add and make the shortfall look better in ledger form. But they may decide they want this to go to athletes. They may decide they want this to go to coaches. Because I guarantee you there were some checks written through some of these sponsors for former coaches. Who no longer coach here. Right?
Yeah. I threw one to your brother earlier.
People are going to have to figure out what the numbers are and what the priorities are. I don't particularly – I understand it if Husker fans say, you know what, no, leave it Memorial Stadium. We'll support it otherwise. But you can also say that and then realize that there is really a financial shortfall. And then things suffer. And you want to know why you don't have the same players as USC, Oregon, Michigan, Ohio State. You want to know why? Loyalty. Blind loyalty will get you exactly what you've gotten into right now.
That's what I was basically saying.
There's a lot there. We got to get to old school. But real quick, before we get out of here, Stricky, do the Mavs push it? Do they stay alive? Boston too much.
Your boy's in the game. Anything's possible.
You playing tonight?
Your boy.
You making that flight? You getting to Dallas? You getting there?
Scott Boston.
You wild.
Your boy.
You wild. You wild.
I said Celtics Mavs. What's that got to do with anything?
You wild.
Do the Mavs stay
alive? That's it.
Cardiac Carolina does it again. They walk off Long Island in the regionals. They walk off West Virginia in the supers. And now they walk off Virginia. There it is.
I told you on the missed pop fly, baseball guys were going to take over. It was a wrap.
Virginia left the bases loaded in the first inning. Cavaliers go down. Roy Williams at Charles Schwab Field. He starts celebrating as the Baby Blue triumphs in Game 1. We'll throw it to break when we get back. It'll be old school. DP and I hanging out with you for our last 2 hours of the day here at Blur. Thanks to Stricky for swinging by. We'll be back here on Monday. Don't forget, if you want to join the party, visit blurevents.com/Omaha. For Strick, for DP, I'm Austin. Don't go anywhere. Old school from 12th and Cass in Omaha next.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet, GMC, and right